Hey everyone, welcome to another C++ video. Make sure to pay attention, take notes, and of course, master C++ with me. Okay, so let's talk about last week's challenge. So first, we have to define two integers. Simple enough, int a, comma b. Then cin those two integers. And remember, when we do cin with two greater than symbols, and then a. If we want to do more than one integer at once, we could do cin b, like that. So now a and b will be assigned values based on our inputs. Next, we have to print the product, quotient, sum, and difference. So let's do cout product with a semicolon, and then we can do a times b, then fill out the rest. So now we have this. Let's try a couple inputs, and so let's take 5 and 7. So the product is 35, the quotient is 0. Remember that 5 divided by 7 will return 0 because it automatically rounds using when you divide integers. Sum is 12, and then difference is -2. That's correct. Now let's try 13 and 9. So the product is 117. The quotient is 1. Again, because 13 divided by 9 gives you 1, remainder 4, and basically it just truncates the remainder 4. Then the sum is 22, and the difference is 4. So you may recall me explaining that Boolean expressions are more complicated than what they seem on the surface. This is because of a group of symbols known as comparator operators. There are 5 comparator operators, and it really increases the limit of programs you can make in C++. So the 5 comparator operators are equal, equal, and this is different from the equal sign. This is a comparison, this is an assignment. Greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to. So you actually may recognize these from algebra, but these are slightly different. So let's give an example of how we use these comparator operators. Let's take an integer a, and let's say we cin this integer a, and let's say we have a bool b is equal to, and then we can write a Boolean expression. So let's say a bool b is equal to a less than 0. So if a is a negative number, then basically this will give you true. If a is greater than 0, then you will get false. And also, if a is equal to 0, you will also get false. Because if a is equal to 0, that is not less than 0. So basically, if we combine these two statements, if a is greater than or equal to 0, then we get false. But let's say we wanted to make this so that if a is equal to 0, then we want to get true. So what we can do is replace this less than sign with a less than equal to sign. Then if a is equal to 0, we'll get true. Okay, great. So we And let's just say since 7 is like a lucky number, let's say we want to have another Boolean that checks if it is lucky number 7 or not. So we have bool is 7, and we can write bool is 7 is equal to a equal 7. If we want to compare if a number is equal to another number, or if a string is equal to another string, or something like that, then we have to use the equal. So let's reiterate this. This is assignment operator. But as soon as we add the second equal sign near it, C++ knows that this is a comparator. So now we have b, the value either of true or false, and then is 7 is either true or false as well. But who cares? What do we get out of that? So there's something that we have in C++ that is known as an if statement. Is written in the format if, parenthesis, Boolean expression, and then a bracket, similar to the bracket we use when we write int main. We use a bracket with the if statement, and we also need a bracket at the end of the if statement. If this Boolean expression is evaluated to true, then whatever this code is, this code will be run. And if this Boolean expression is in fact false, the program will skip to the end of the bracket. So only the code inside these two brackets are like specific to that Boolean expression. So let's give an example of this. Let's take a similar example to the one we had before. We have our integer a, and we see in a, we have our Boolean b is equal to a greater than or equal to 0. So this time we used a greater than symbol just to demonstrate the different types. And let's try using an if statement this time. So if b is equal true. So we're checking, is b true? However, we don't need to actually compare b to true because we already know b is a Boolean expression. So we don't need to add the extra equal. We can just do if b. So if b is false, then whatever code we have in here won't be run. But if b is true, then this code will be run. So if b, then we can see out your number is positive. Now let's extend our program. Do you remember our bool is 7 is equal to a equal 7. So we can write if is 7, and don't forget your curly brace at the end. We can, inside this, we can write cout, you have the lucky number. So that's all the important stuff on if statements for now. However, if statements are a very complex topic, and we'll go into this more in the future. So this week's challenge is going to be to first see in two integers a and b. If a is less than 10, cout a is less than 10. Then, if b is greater than or equal to 10, cout b is greater than 9. Because if it's greater than 9, that means it could be 10 or greater. Then finally, if b minus a is equal to 10, then cout their difference is 10. So I'm going to leave some inputs for you to try out inside the description of this video. So make sure your output matches the output that I have put in the description for each of the test cases. See you in the next one. Peace.